This presentation is on static and dynamic security testing and analysis. And so static analysis is done in a non-runtime environment, which is just when the program isn't running at all. And so any kind of static analysis tool that is used looks at the code and will look at the runtime behaviors, looking for any kind of flaws, backdoors, or bad code. So below here, we have just this flow chart that's looking at between the start build and the finish build, incorporating static analysis in there. And so it's going to check for any kind of compiler errors, looking at the source code, and things of that nature. And so, and then in contrast, dynamic analysis is done just when the program is running in the runtime environment. And so when a dynamic test is run, it's just going to go and examine monitor system memory, functional behavior, response time, overall performance of the system, and other kind of data it can collect while the program is running. And so comparing the two, like, strengths and weaknesses of like the static and dynamic analysis. For static analysis, strength, it's got a more thorough approach, doesn't cost as much, it's cheaper, and so it's definitely much more efficient that way. And then it's also able to find future errors that would not be detected in dynamic analysis. And so another good thing about static analysis is that it will point out the exact point in the code where there's an error so you can easily fix it. And the only, just one weakness, big weakness about static analysis is that you may think it's like a better method than dynamic analysis, and that you just might want to use static analysis, but dynamic analysis would just be just as important, and static analysis is not going to catch some of the runtime errors that dynamic analysis would. And so, and then in dynamic analysis, the strength is that it'll identify the errors while the program is running, and it can even analyze code even when it can't be accessed and you can't look at the source code and all that kind of stuff. And so the weaknesses of dynamic analysis is that it'd be longer to fix the error that is found because it doesn't exactly pinpoint the error like static analysis does. And another weakness is that, like, the automated tools that the dynamic analysis has, it's like don't do everything. They just do what they're like programmed to do and like set to do, so it can create like a false sense of security. And then, like, examples of analysis tools, a big example for static analysis is find bugs, which is just static analysis tool that will like report any like potential issues as like warnings and will show up, but not all of them are actually bugs. They're just spot points in the code where they could possibly go wrong, which is a good thing because, of course, with technology, you never know what could go wrong, or with programming, what part of the code could possibly mess up, and so that helps you minimize the errors in your code. And then another analysis tool that actually has kind of both static analysis and dynamic analysis is Veracode, and that's more like of something that is online. it's an online tool, whereas FindBugs would be this program that you would download. And so yeah, Veracode has just both a static analysis tool and a dynamic analysis tool to be able to test and look at your code. So that is it for this presentation on static and dynamic security testing and analysis.